everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to episode 58 of Direwolf20's Let's Play series, where today my plan is to build a giant cage, well not that giant, but reasonably sized cage for the Wither, that we can trap him and kill him automatically. And then after that, we're going to see if we can automatically spawn the Wither via some kind of mechanism to generate Withers and spawn them automatically. Should be fun. Hopefully, we'll see. All right, guys, let's get started. Last episode, I was prepping a bunch of wool, so let's make some shield templates. All right, so 2 stacks of shield templates should suffice. Now, let's build this relatively far away from my... Like, I don't need to be super far away from my base, but I also don't want any potential Wither problems happening. So, here's the deal with shield templates, right? You can change their color by crafting them by themselves. Okay, maybe not. Maybe not. How do you make red shield templates? Oh, really? You can't convert them from one to the other now? RIP! RIP! On the different shield template rotation. I loved that feature. So, all right, we'll get 32 reds, and we'll see if that's enough, right? Well, 7 by 7, it shouldn't be enough, so we need a little bit more. But the way shield templates work is you place them where you want shields to be. And I should probably turn you back to single block mode. Right? So that's close, but no cigar. So we're going to want a few more shield templates, I guess red. And different colors will not connect to each other. So if you want 2 shields next to each other, but you don't want them to all combine, that's why you want different colors. And if you don't know what that means, or you need explanation of that, I will be going deeper into what that means in a minute once I actually activate my shield, right? So you'll see what I mean. Trust me, it's not that complicated. Come on, sheep. Let's go. All right, so this will be close to what I need. Now, the Wither trap doesn't necessarily need to be this big, so I'm probably being a little bit extra with my shielding, but that's okay. It's all good. So let's clear this out. We don't super need you at the moment. So I'm going to place a shield projector, and we're also going to want a flux point, by the way. So flux point for receiving energy. Cool. And any chance we've gotten enough wool? Oh, yay, we did. Nice. If you're lucky, you get a few more wools. One more short. RIP. So shield projector goes next to the shield templates. We may need a wrench from RF tools. And that would be... Why don't I recommend this one? Smart wrench. Need a couple blue dye for that. Yes, I see you, rat guy. I see you, and I do not appreciate you. Hooray, another set of reds. We might need more blues before the day is out, but it'll be fine. Cool. So you get power on the Direwolf20 network, and then we get this fancy UI that if you've never seen it before or worked with it, I'll give you the basic gist. Up here is a list, or going to be a list, it's currently blank, of types of entities and what happens when they impact the shield. So right now, if I set it to pass all and hit add, it means every entity type in the game can pass through the shield as if it were air. That's not what we want. So we're going to highlight this and delete it. What we actually want is, it should be hostile mobs, it's solid. And then after that, it should be everything else. And we want, I think we want this on the bottom. Hostile solid first, default pass. Okay. And that's about it. Now, you could have the shield do damage, but it costs more energy. And since we're going to have a really damaging ritual from Astral Sorcery, I don't think it's necessary. So we're going to skip the damage parts of it. Okay. Over here, you can see what type of shield it's going to do. That's pretty cool. Default shield texture. Use the texture from the supplied block. Transparent shield texture, solid shield texture, invisible shield texture, and you can even set the colors for the shield. Pretty cool, right? So let's go. Ooh, look at this. This is new. Very red. Very, very reddish. Very reddish. That looks pretty neat. Let's just go straight up red. So if we want to check it out, we can hit it with the smart wrench, boom, and it activates the shield. What happens is every shield block touching the shield projector, and every shield block touching a shield block that's also touching the shield projector, it just propagates out. So the reason you want different colored blocks is so that if we wanted to build a wall around this thing, right? And actually for this one, the floor, I want default to just be the floor, right? I'll change this, but I'll show you, right? So with this, you can see I fall right through it. Right? That's not what I want. The purpose of having two shields here is I want the floor to be solid for me and for the Wither, and I want the outside area to be solid for the Wither, but let me walk through it. So what we're going to do is remove this, right? Boom, boom, and it's just going to be solid for all, okay? And now we turn it on, and it's solid for everybody. How cool is that? How cool is that? I love it, right? It's super neat. So then we want another shield block and a bunch of blue shields here, because, so if I were to place a red shield here, for example, now it's, you know, that's not what we want, right? So let's turn that off and place a blue shield instead. Now when we turn on the red, we can see the blue shields aren't active yet, and we can set up here an advanced, I thought I still had some advanced energy. My bad. Okay, we do that, and then if we set this guy to configure for solid for all, pass for players, and I think this wants to be on top, but I'm not 100% sure if that's important. Boom. Now, how cool is that? I can walk right through it. And I would like that to be a bluish color, because I feel like that would be neat. We could go with like a nice cyan too if we wanted. How would cyan look? Oh, that looks cool. That looks cool, right? All right, so let's turn you off and let's build a sufficiently sized area, right? And you can building gadget this, by the way, if you want, because these are not tile entities. At least they haven't been in the past. They might be now. We'll find out. But we'll find out. Yeah, no, look, looks fine to me. So build to me. And you want a decent amount of height because you don't want the Wither to escape out the roof. Right? That's kind of an important detail that you want to make sure doesn't happen. Now, how am I for blue? We're going to need more blue shields. Let's get another, like, stack. Huh? Get another 32? Close, but no cigar. So let's fill in what we can. You know, and technically, you could probably leave a couple lines open, but I think it looks better when it's all together, right? Like, how cool is that? That is a cool shielding area. So let me just wait a few minutes for a few more sheep to be sheared, and we'll be back to finish this cage. All right, let's see what we got going on here now. I think we've got enough to make this happen. Cool, 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 and cool. All right, and then you're ready to wrench it up. This looks good to me. Now it's time to test this, right? So players can pass, but the default is solid. So we should be good here. This should keep the weather pretty well trapped, but let's be sure. So to be sure, we want to test it. Always test. You never know. You never know what can break. So we're going to want some soul sand. We'll just get a stack of everything. Doesn't matter. And you know what I'm going to get? Hammer. Legendary hammer of murderization. Which, by the way, has what on it? Sharpness 5 and Fortune 3. Beautiful. All right, so let's see if step 1 of Wither, Spawn, and Kill contraption works. And that is just, is the Wither kept trapped inside the shield area? Hopefully, yes. And if yes, then we move on to step 2, which is auto-kill Wither. And then step 3 is auto-spawn Wither. So far, so good. Hey, buddy. What's up? He's like, nothing. Can't move. Very stuck. I agree. He's trying, but no. Now, every time he shoots, it is going to, you know, use a little bit of energy here, but we should be transferring more than enough energy to keep this thing running. So let's see. Oh, yeah, that's a nice weapon. Wow. That was bananas. This weapon is ridiculous. Oh man. With 46 attack damage and sharpness. Just bananas. Bananas. And in case you blinked, you might have missed me killing the Wither in 3 hits or so with said hammer. Well, that was more like 5 hits, to be fair. To be fair, it was more like 5 hits. But still, it's a little bananas, this weapon. And you know me, I like when things are bananas. Wow, really? I had full health and... Explain. I had full health and full armor equipped. Full health and full armor equipped. Explain that death. Explain that death to me, sir. I recognize that Wither explosions hurt. I am not disputing that fact, but I had full health. Well, look, I got a Wither Rose, so, you know, mission accomplished. I guess that's one way to do it. Okay, let's try that again. This time, sans the death. 6-ish hits. Not bad at all. Alright, so hey, trapping works. We're good there. Now let's move on to killing. Alright guys, so what I'm doing now is combining crystals again. Because as a reminder, part of your ritual, you're going to want these lenses here, reflecting starlight back onto the crystal. And I think we should aim for the best possible stats there, if we can. So, for that, we're going to make a perfect size, purity, and shape. That's all that matters for lenses. No other attributes matter, which makes sense, right? Because your only other attributes are tool durability and efficiency, ritual effect and range, collection rate, and the focus of the constellation. So none of those make sense with respect to lenses. So all you really care about for making lenses with a crystal is, like I said, size, purity, and shape. So I'm building a perfect size, purity, and shape crystal. This should be size 3, purity 2, shape 3 once it combines. And that should be groovy. And then we can use that to make these guys. Okay, so for that, here we go. Size, purity, and shape. Perfect. We're going to take you over to here, and you're going to make one of these, right? So we're going to need 2 aquamarines, some glass lenses, engraved wood, gold, marble, all kinds of good stuff. So gold. I always forget, there should be a hotkey for 1, but whatever. Runed marble, we're going to want a couple of you. Engraved wood, a couple of you. Lens, we only got 1 of you, so let's get some glass panes. And I do really need to get around to figuring out how to automate this. I should look into if I can make this automated. There's probably ways, but it might be more tricky. You know, there's a lot of mods that add right-click functionality, but Extra Utilities really had that really special and unique block where you could say exactly what kind of right-click you wanted to have occur, right? And that was pretty unique, in fairness. So, you know, so here's my 3-2-3 Celestial Crystal. That's gonna get us 7 really nice lenses, 7 Purity 2 Shape 3 lenses. So super perfect and excellent. And then what we want is just a bunch of marble to help get ready to go. So we want some of you and some of you. We're probably going to need some pillars and some arches and maybe a little bit more engraved than we currently have. Let's just stack that up. And then some regular. And then let's go build our ritual. So we're going to place a ritual stand probably right here next to the thing, right? So this is going to be the ritual thing right here. So let's refresh our memory on what that looks like. In the book, because I always forget the multi-blocks. I never remember multi-blocks. I think it's Constellation where rituals are. Starlight Infusion. No, that's right. Attunement has rituals. Celestial Altar. Celestial Gateway. Ritual Pedestal. Ritual Acceleration. There we go. So you are... in the middle is this dude, and it's a... The footprint's actually pretty big. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it needs to be a 9 by 9 area. So let's do that. And we'll be nice and cleared on this. Just have enough spacing in, I think would be smart. And we can probably have our magnet back on now. Sand goes into my thing, right? Yes, okay, good. Come on, wireless transmitter. I need to think about having bigger ranges on those dudes, right? So in the center here, we're gonna have this chiseled marble. And hopefully this range will reach over there, because you know what I didn't do? Is I didn't put the modification on the crystal last episode. But we'll do that before we finish, right? So we'll test that to make sure it should work. Should work, but we'll find out. So 1, 2, 3 bricks coming out of each corner. And then the bricks should have on either side, yes. Like this. Cool. And then inside the centers are going to be, I believe that's just smooth marble, like regular old marble. Okay. And then from there, we want all around the outside is the wavy kind. All around the outside is the wavy kind, which hopefully I have enough for. Cool. And that look good? Yeah, that should be cool. Is it though? That's better. Okay. And then the ritual pedestal on top. So I don't know if I have one of those, but we're gonna make one real quick. So for a pedestal, right, we need a liquid starlight bucket and then any crystal. So let's just grab any crystal, doesn't matter. The crystal we use for this craft does not matter, so I'm literally gonna grab tool durability because that's probably the one I'm least likely to use ever. And then a liquid starlight bucket. And then ritual pedestal. I thought I grabbed enough gold, but I didn't. And maybe this will be craftable during the day? Nope. No daytime crafts for you. Wow, you are super not even in the mood. You are 100% like, nope. That's interesting. The red bar is not there. Interesting. Well, let's make it nighttime. Oh, you know what else? Haha, there's your problem. Let's get our linking tool. Because I unlinked from the table to link all those things. So we unlink all links. We can link you to the table, and that should juice me up enough. There we go. Maybe not quite enough. Maybe not quite enough. Alright. It is literally first thing in the morning, so let's go sleep until the night. There we go. Beautiful. Okay. So that should be your ritual pedestal here. Okay. Now let's go get our crystal and test the wither and see how fast he dies with his current setup. So we're going to test it with this, then we're going to focus it with that constellation modification thing, then we're going to augment it with the collector crystal, and we'll see the difference in how fast he dies with all these different attributes. Deal? Deal. So we're going to want this guy here. Boop. And then we should be able to build this dude in here. And we'll see how fast he dies. Now, don't expect him to die quick. This is the weakest version of this ritual as it sits right now. So yes, it should, you know, do things, but... Oh good, I didn't die this time. I mean, that's not bad. For that being the weakest iteration of this ritual, that is not bad at all. Look at how fast his health is dropping. That is bananas already. That is already bananas. That is already bananas. I love it. I love how fast he died, because all that tells me is it's about to get a lot more bananas. There's a lot more bananas coming. All right, so cleaning up inventory real quick. Let's get prepared for the next step. All right, guys, next step, let's amp this up with a little bit of collecting crystals. That sound cool? So we're gonna get this built up. It should be groovy. I'm just checking my reference here, so we should have some marble going like this and this. Cool. And then in the corners, we want these guys. Boop, 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 and boop. And then on top of that, we want these dudes. Okay. And then in the middle, we want one of those, and then a quick pillar. And then on top of that, we want one of these cubey guys again. I never remember what their names are. I'm terrible. What can I say? And then I think we want liquid starlight inside all that, right? I think that's what we want. This is just temporary because you need a space between the chiseled marble there and not. So let's get a quickie tank. Well, let's get some buckets. That should be fine-ish. Let's also get a tank. Do we have a basic tank? We can get a basic tank. I haven't let this run for a while, but I mean, we've got a lot. Yeah, we still have 400-ish buckets of liquid starlight. So I can always get him running again if we really need to. All right, so you should be full-ish. And aquamarines, boop, 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 boop. Go ahead and get that started. So at least we're like letting that run. Okay, so you're gonna come over here for a sec. Pretty sure we need liquid starlight here, don't we? Pretty sure. There. And then the collector crystal itself. From Decidia. Okay. And let's place that and then remove, whoops, this. And see the red? Red particles equals good. That tells me that we have a properly functioning dude. So now quantum bag this guy with a linking tool. I'm gonna hang on to my buckets in case I need more, but linking tool to here. And that should give me a nice beam. And then we get our light beams shooting off, which is cool. I like that they all shoot off all at the same time. That's kind of nifty, right? So let's get this one. Looks like it terminates. It's a little hard to see during the day. Maybe I should make it nighttime. It'll be good for our test in a minute anyway. All right, so beams of light shooting out. So that should go there now. That's looking good. Okay. Linked to ritual pedestal. Nice. Cool. I think the lightning is a good sign. I mean, let's be honest. When is lightning ever not a good sign? Lightning is always a good sign. And then the last one should be here. Can't quite tell if that's 2 or 3 up. Looks like 2 up. And that should be a super focused dude, right? So that's going to be almost the best we can get. The only better we can do is using the Alteria constellation as a focus. But we'll talk about that in a sec. So let's test this out and see how much better this guy is, right? So he should be a lot better now. With all that collecting crystal stuff happening, this should be much faster kill. Look at his health just melt. Bananas! Oh, that is hilarious. Did you see how fast that thing did? That was a work of art right there. That was a work of art. Wow, that was cool. Wow, that was cool. Did you let's do that again. I want to do that again. Goodbye, Wither. I don't want anybody to tell me Astral Sorcery isn't cool. It is literally one of the coolest mods. Like, visually impressive, fun to build with, lots of cool stuff. Like, for some reason, I know some of you guys just aren't fans of Astral. I get that. It's okay. You're allowed to not like the same things I like. But I definitely just, it's one of my mods I'm just like, it is fun. It's not you place down a block and then the wither dies, right? It's you build this cool contraption. Like, it took effort to get to this point, and it's paying off, right? Like, there's several types of mods. There's mods that have almost no effort for a huge payoff. That's kind of boring, right? Like, I place down a single block and it, like, completely mines out the whole world. Okay, like, I get that that's, you know, beneficial, but that's not fun to do, right? And then there's other mods where, like, there's tons of effort that you put in, and there's really no big payoff. You're like, oh, wow, that took 3 episodes to build, and it kills a wither in 8 minutes. Okay, I guess that's okay, right? No, this one is very much like you put in the effort, and it's not too much effort. It's like a good balanced amount of effort. It didn't take this long to build this all up. And then once it's there, it's like, yeah, the wither just melted. It's hilarious. All right, so let's look at attuning our ritual crystal to Ulteria and see how much better that can be, right? So what we're going to want to do is check out Radiance. And I think all we need to do... I don't mind the idea of the Akashic... that's the Necrantic Prime dude. The Phosnic Resonator... I think that'll show me. Won't it show me the area of effect of a ritual? I kind of wouldn't mind seeing that. Just... This shows me... Oh, wow. I didn't realize I had such a massive starlight field right here. When did that happen? Like, we still have a really good one here, but that's a really big one, too, right here. That's neat. Today we learned. All right, we can upgrade this dude, right? That'll give me the Domic, and I think Domic shows me the range of the ritual, so I wouldn't mind checking that out. Only because Domic Resonator. Starlight denotes a ritual pedestal when right-clicked. The area of effect of a ritual. Shift right-clicking will cycle the resonator between Phosnic and Domic mode. So we need 4 illumination, 4 stardust, and 2 lenses, right? So I don't need all this marble in my inventory anymore. We're done building multi-blocks for the time being, right? And we also don't need the crystal lens. But we want stardust... which should be around here somewhere. Frankly, I don't even know where my stardust would be. I had a bunch of it. Where'd it go? Did I put it in here by mistake? Yes. Okay. And I should also grab my lenses, because we're going to need lenses. And then 4 illuminations, right? Hooray! Because I want to see the area of effect of this ritual before we shrink it. Alright, so you need this, you need the 2 lenses, and then you need top 4 is illumination powder. Bottom 4 is that, and that should be cool. So now this thing has 2 purposes. Boop. So putting it in red mode no longer shows this, but you can click on a ritual pedestal and it will show you the area of effect. Right? Boop. Oh, wow. Look at that. Wow, that's a really big area of effect. Wow, that is a huge area of effect. Any mobs in that area of effect will die as fast as that wither just did. Holy cow. That is cool. So let's snag this crystal and modify it with Ulteria. So I'm snagging you. We're going to bring it over here. We're going to snag you guys, and then we're going to do Ulteria. Okay? And the way this works is this will shrink the area of effect, but increase the effect, right? So the effect is how much, you know, damage it does over time for this particular instance. And if we look in the book, we'll see for the constellation Ulteria, drawing close the ritual's energy, it increases in power 4 times over, but shrinks to 1/5 its normal size. So in other words, smaller area of effect, but 4 times more damaging. Can you tell? All right, so Ulteria is what we want. Ulteria is what we want, right? Constellations, Ulteria, before I mix it up for some reason. Yeah, Ulteria is what we want. So let's get the things placed. That's cool, but it may not be in the sky yet. So we'll probably have to sleep through the night and then come back on another night when it's here. So back in a minute. All right, guys. So took a couple nights sleep, but it looks like they're in the sky finally. Finally. It really did take a while. It took, I think, 4 or 5 nights. But let's infuse this thing with the dim constellation. So here's our ritual effect for Dissidia. We're going to drop this dude in here. And I think I turned off my magnet already. Good. And he's going to get modified with Ulteria, which is 100% what we want. Right? And what that should do is shrink the area of effect, like I said, and rapidly improve the amount of damage done. We'll see. We shall see. I'm struggling to imagine how it could be any more powerful than it already was, but, you know. So let's see. Boom. You can see all the beams are in the same location, so that's good news. And if we check with our Fosnic Resonator thing here, we should be able to see definitely a smaller area of effect, for sure. Right? Obviously a much smaller area of effect, but it definitely still does encompass the Wither spawn, so that's cool beans right there. And let's also just validate before we... so you can see Trait of Ulteria on the bottom there. Trait of Ulteria. So that's cool. Nice. All right, it's a Withering time. So, final test. This should be pretty much as powerful as it's going to be. There's no better crystal, in my understanding of the mechanics of this mod, for killing mobs. You ready? Oh yeah. What was that, like a second? I think, by George, I think we've done it. I think we've got a really... I can't tell if that was much faster, but there's probably some kind of limit on how much damage mobs can take. So it's definitely faster. I don't know if it's much faster, but it's definitely faster than I think it was before the Ulteria modification. Either way, that's about as powerful of a Wither killer as you're going to get from Astral Sword. I mean, that is quick. I'm just saying. That is quick. That is super cool, and I love it. So let's wrap up the episode here. We'll come back next time, and we'll look at how can we automatically place the Wither Soul Sand and Skulls down so we can generate a Wither. Does foregoing still have... This is going to be a fallback plan. The Wither Builder I don't see in the foregoing mod. I don't see the Wither Builder. There was a block that would just, like, you know, build the Wither for you, and that's, like, all it did. I didn't want to use that because it's, like, kind of one of those, like I described before, one-box solutions, right? Like, you just place it down, it does it, and you're done. So I'd like to do something that can place blocks at a distance and automate it with, you know, some kind of redstone and timey stuff. But we're going to have to see if such a thing exists in this pack, because I'm not sure. Botania, maybe? Oh, we'll find out. For now, wrapping up point. So Darwell20 signing off. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. We'll come back next time and figure out a way to automatically place the Wither building materials that we need. But now we've got auto killing of Withers, so that's a pretty good step. So we've got trapping and killing. Next step is making. All right, guys. Take it easy.